Hey guys, I wanted to do a product review on the Walthers Proto Amfleet 2 Cafe Lounge in phase 4B or phase 6, depending on who you are. Walthers released these cars a few years ago. I want to say their first run was about 5 years ago. Train World's actually still selling this paint scheme in the cafe car. New. I think you can pick them up for about 80 bucks. That's where I got this one. Start off with the box. So you get your Walthers Proto box. Pretty typical. That's the manufacturer's stock number. You do get a nice cover with the plastic. Most of the previous runs they did of these cars, you just got the container. Got your warranty decal sheet. One thing to note about the decal sheet that I thought was kind of weird, there's no decals for cafe, which is what's currently printed on these cars that Amtrak is running. You can only get lounge and dinette for some reason. They give you the numbers, decals, car names for phase 4 and 4B. But once again, they don't have the cafe decal. I was fortunate enough to have some old decals from the previous runs of the Walthers phase 4B cars that did have those still on them, so I was able to use those. Microscale also makes a decal sheet that would have that printed on it. These also don't come installed with figures. I installed those myself. They're Prizer. You can find them on eBay. They make really good stuff. Very easy to install. Getting this car apart to install them is not the easiest. If you look at the bottom, there's 2 screws there, 2 there, and 2 there, and I'm talking about the outermost screws, those right there. If you take those out, you don't have to take out the coupler assembly or anything. If you take those out, you'll be able to gain access to the car shell. The only difficult part is that on the vestibule end of the car, the bulkhead, which you can see in there if you peer in that window, there's an actual bulkhead in the car. It's very hard to get that bulkhead in and out of the actual shell of the car because it's the way that it's designed. So be careful when doing that. But you can see the passengers installed. The Proto cars have actual interiors. The non-Proto runs of these cars did not have any interiors, so I went ahead and installed passengers. You also install the number decals, so you get to pick which number you want. You have all 25 car numbers for the Amfleet 2 cafes. So there's a total of 6 car numbers that'll be applied to each car. And then you also have to apply the welcome cafe and the handicap decal as well, which you can see there. Walthers did a really good job with these cars. You can also see the, trying to get it to focus, the patched, I'm not sure what you'd call it. There used to be on the coaches, they have car numbers that would go in that little oval. Amtrak's patched over those. They don't use them for the cafes. Walthers has done the same thing. Roof detail is great. The vent there, you can see the rivets. On the car ends, you've got pre-installed handrails as well as the grab irons. Colored MUs on the bottom. I believe these are also equipped with KD couplers from the factory. You can see the steps there. And then if you look at the bottom, lots of detail on the bottom. They did a really good job. You can see the piping, some air brake lines, retention tank. And the trucks, you can see the brake detail there. The previous runs didn't have any brake detail. They were just plastic, undetailed trucks. But yep, this is the Amfleet 2, Phase 4B or Phase 6. Walthers Proto. They're well worth the money. I held off on picking these up for a while because of the cost, but they're well worth it in my opinion. Walthers is doing another run of these cars. They aren't doing the cafes, but they are doing the coaches. They're available for pre-order now with delivery in, I believe, the end of August 2020. So if you want to pick those up, I recommend getting your order in as soon as you can. I wanted to couple it to a non-proto car, just so you can kind of get an idea. You can see the difference in finish. Cars are still great, obviously, but there is a little bit of a difference there. But I hope you enjoyed it. I highly recommend these cars. If you don't have one, I recommend you get one.